Hello again and welcome to a flock of birds. Today we're going to discuss nipples and water bottles. As you can tell, I have a few varieties of nipples that are here. This is a little nipple that's designed for like a Snapple bottle, which is right here, which is made by Lixit, Lixit, and it takes and it slides right in just like that, perfect. And along with that is this little bracket here. As you can tell, it comes apart and it mounts on the cage, and it also comes with a slinky band, something like this. I made this one because I ran out of the other ones. They kept breaking. And you just attach this to the cage accordingly, just like the instructions tell you to, and then you have your water bottle. Okay, that's one type of nipple. Then you have and by the way, this little nipple here is for small birds like parakeets and parrots and cockatiels and sort like that, for anything really that's kind of small. And as you can see here on this one, it's a little bit longer for a longer cage, but it's got a different type of grommet on the bottom of it. Let's get back in the camera here. It's got a different type of grommet. It's not smooth, so you can use that for a variety of other kind of bottles, like what I have here. I have a Powerade bottle and I have a Gatorade bottle, and I also have a great value apple juice container, which I use for my bigger birds like my macaws. And this fits right in just like that, and that right there, and it seals for that one. For the Powerade bottle, it sticks out a little bit, and it also, there's different sizes of these too. Some of these are real big around, so they fit on top of the apple juice bottle better. And as you can tell, Powerade bottle, Gatorade bottle, anything like that, as long as you clean them out real good, you can also dishwasher them. Because I have sun conures that love to empty the bottles, and that little Snapple bottle ain't nothing. They'll empty that in a heartbeat. So I use the big Powerade bottle. I use the Snapple bottles and the little Gatorade bottle right there for my green cheeks and my other birds with the little nipple. Okay. Now that's that kind of nipple for the small birds. Those two are for small birds. Alright. Then we come over to another type of those nipples that are metal, that have the rubber grommet right here. And these are the bigger ones. As you can tell, I have two different sizes here. I have the longer ones, I have the shorter ones. The longer ones fit into the little device right here that slides just like this and into that. There's a mounting bracket for that as well. The parts are right here. You get 2 bolts, 2 nuts, and 2 of those plates. Because we'll come right up here and you can see, trying to do this, there's a hole there and there's a hole right there, and that mounts to the cage. There's also another bracket that goes with it that I don't have an extra one, so you can take and put those 2 brackets there, put them up to the cage, and get you some copper wire, bare copper wire, or get you something like this that they use for screen doors, and make you a little slinky thing with hooks on it and hook the bottle to it. But to make sure they can't pop that bottle off, that's why I use the copper wire, because it takes them a while to get that off if they ever get it off. But there's an actual bracket that comes like this and clips on there that holds that bottle there, or the 32-ounce Lixit bottle that's made out of glass, and they're very expensive. That there right now at Walmart is 79 cents versus the $8 for the glass one plus shipping. So you're looking at 10 bucks. If you buy it from Lixit, the glass one, it's going to run you $25 because that's what they charge for it. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way for these rubber ones here, and by the way, these here are for the bigger birds. Everything from a sun conure up. You can use the other one for sun conures too, But my some conures like to drink water by the gallons. So I use these. And I also use them for my macaws. They love them too. My Amazons. That's what the big bottle's for. Okay. Now we'll go over here to the medium ones, because I don't have medium ones in these grommets. So I'll show you these. This is here's what they call a soda bottle nipple. And as you can tell, it's got that black thing in it. And when you wash it, some of that black stuff comes off onto your fingers, but it never goes into the water. For some reason I ain't figured out yet, but a little bit of the black stuff comes off. And I've checked and checked and checked and checked the water. I don't like using these too much. They're a big seller. People love buying them. Those were gave to me, so I didn't buy them. These you can use with any kind of soda bottle. Anything from a Coke bottle up. But we all know how soda bottles are, how sodas are to us. So I really don't take that chance. Some people do. Hey, more power to you if it works out for you. It's fine. This here's the medium one. That is perfect for conures. The normal size conures, you got your dusky conures, your sun conures, your Nandays. Patagonians are a little big for it. But your moons and your cherry heads, kind of iffy. I had a pair of cherry heads that used it, was alright. Green cheeks you can use it for, or you can use the little ones for them. Either one works. Stuff like that. Because it's got a little, yeah, I know I didn't talk about this, but I'll talk about it after I get done babbling about these bottles. It's got a littler nipple on it. It's not too bad. Okay, that's that. This here is a 200 milliliter. It's a 20 ounce bottle, I know that. 15 to 20 ounce, somewhere around there. Regular water bottle that you could buy from Southern Pets or Country Feathers is where I bought them from up in Tennessee. It's where I bought that bottle, and it's old. It's just been sitting around, and I figure since I'm doing YouTube videos that I'll use it, because I don't use them anymore because I got a whole bunch of these. So, and when you put these in a dishwasher over time, if you're not careful, this here bubbles down and it shrinks down, it deforms, and it's a real pain in the ass. But this is the nipple that goes with it. Come into a variety of colors, any kind of color you can think of, I've seen them in. And again, this came from Country Feathers, but if you look at it though closely, let me get it back in this camera. If you see that right there, the birds love chewing on that. And they chew on that one too. So that's why I use these, because they can't reach it. Sometimes they can reach the rubber. It depends on if you use the one bracket or not, and I'll show you the other bracket I forgot to show you. If you use the single bracket and not that one, they can chew on it. If you use the single one, they can't chew on it. This here goes with that bottle. If you ever break these because you tighten them down too much, you see this little ring right here? You can see it. Normally you can't see it, it's not prevalent enough, but you can see that little ring from tightening it down too much over time. And if you're not careful, it splits right there. So then you have that problem. That's what makes them handy, because they don't split as easy. But this here and this both fit on that bottle perfect. So if you break this one, you got that one, and it works out good. Okay. Now we'll go back, because I skipped this little thing here. This here comes with that slinky there. There's two different sizes of these. You got the little one here, and you have that big size there. That also comes in these. And they fit those. They're mainly for the nipples that are like this, because this here doesn't have the lip like that one does to hold itself. So it has to use this to hold it. Because if not, and you set it in that bottle right there, and you put it on the cage, it'll come out just like that. And I've had it happen. My stepson's done it, not paying attention to where they go, and it's come right out and went everywhere. So this here is just for this. Now you can use these with this, but these have to go with that. There's no way around it. You'll learn when you do it to see what happens. Okay, now we got that established. When you put the water in, what do you do? Okay, here's what you do when you have the water. You fill the bottle up like so. This is the Gatorade bottle. And as you can tell, see where my finger is? That's the water line. You don't want to fill it to the top. You fill it to the top, there's no air bubble. So with no air bubble, there's no vacuum. Or with no air bubble, there's no chance of the water coming out because of the vacuum. And then you have a big problem because you have a dead bird. Because they can't get the water out. Okay? Now, I know it's an old nipple. Here's what you do. I'm doing this one-handed. You have to use two normally. You put that on like that, and you got to tighten it down real tight. Ah, I got wet. Okay. I know it's sticking up, but for this purpose, if I spill it, it ain't that big of a deal. But you got to take two hands and jiggle it down, and it'll come to about right there. Okay. And we're talking about nipples, but there's a little ball in here. As you can tell, you see it dripping? That right there, they'll watch it drip into a little bowl that you put underneath it. That's their normal water dish. You put this where the water dish is. That way, they see it drip and they get curious and they'll drink it. They'll start playing with it for a while. It takes anywhere from 3 days to 2 weeks to teach them to drink from this. And it saves a lot of time and effort cleaning them damn bowls. And the bowls be full of seed, and they make what I call a sea soup. It's a trip. And as you can tell, that ball goes back when you turn it like this. And this little thing right here, that stops the ball from coming all the way back here and getting stuck. And if you notice, you see that little bit of pocket right there? That right there, if you don't see that, then you just give it a little squeeze and it drips. And it's got it. Some of these drip like crazy, some don't. The ones that drip like crazy, there's something wrong with them. Throw them away. If it drips just a little, that's all it's supposed to do. And every once in a while, it just drips on its own. It's just, that's how they're made. Okay. So now that you've seen all this, you want to know how much it is. All right, let's do this. I'll give you an example. That nipple that's on that right there, it's $7.99 a piece. Is what I paid for them. That one there, $5.99 a piece. That's what I paid for each one of them. That big one there and that set up there, $39.99 from Lixit. This here, that, and that as a set is $10. I think that's what I paid for it when I bought it from Lixit. This nipple here, this nipple comes with just the slinky. And I think they were $4.99. I didn't pay for it, but I remember seeing them somewhere at one of the bird fairs for sale. This, with that bottle, they were $3.99 from Country Feathers in Tennessee is what I paid for them. Snapple bottle, $1, I think. I bought a whole case of them, so I don't know. Might have been 50 cents. But you get to drink it, so who cares? Powerade bottle, like I said, is 79 cents right now at Walmart. The Gatorade bottle, we know how much Gatorade is. It's ridiculous. But, again, you get to keep the bottle. And the apple juice, because I drink apple juice a lot, $2.99, and you get the recycled jug. Perfect. All this is dishwasher safe. You can wash it, but you cannot wash it on pots and pans. And you cannot dry this. You can dry the Lixit stuff, this here, you can dry. And that glass you can dry. Plastic like this, you cannot dry. It cannot be dried in a dishwasher. It has to drip dry. But after you're done washing them, put them back. I mean, it's pretty easy. Okay, now how long to leave them? Well, there's a debate on that. Some say you can leave them a week. Some say you can leave them 2 or 3 weeks. Some say they have to be changed every day. Well, I'll tell you like this. I change mine once a week. In the wintertime, When it's cold, they just get changed to once a week because the temperature in there is like 50 degrees throughout the winter. In the summertime, the bottles get changed once a week, but throughout that week, they get emptied and refilled so that way the water doesn't stagnate. Because you don't want the water to stagnate in there in the bottles because it'll be unhealthy for the birds and it'll cause problems. But under no circumstances are you to leave that water in there longer than a week, even if it's cold. All these things have worked for me and I've never had a problem with it. So I know people say this and people say that, but we all learn because we have to learn from our birds. Not one person has all the answers because they have issues too with their birds and they lose them in this and that, whatever. And I do apologize because some of my videos are ridiculously long. Like this one's probably going to be 25-30 minutes long, and I apologize, but I know when I started out doing this, when we started out, me and my wife and the kids started out 9 years ago, they wasn't anything like this on YouTube to help us out. The only person that was helping us out was the lady, and she didn't know everything because she didn't use bottles, she didn't do this, she didn't do that. She just did what she knew because that's how she was showed. And this is what I've learned through some people talking that I've talked to, and mostly on my own. And it's very expensive, as you can tell. The Nipples, as you can see, is $5.99, $7.99, and I have a whole container full of them. I probably got 75 or 100 of them, of the mix between these right here. That's a lot of money, but it's a lot of money I invested in. Some of it I got free. I ain't gonna lie. The brackets there, I got them all free. Because where my wife was working, the lady, her employees kept dropping the glass bottles. And she wasn't going to spend 20 bucks for the damn glass bottle, so they threw them all in a bucket. And they just had to buy new ones because they were 30 bucks. If you're going to spend $20 on the glass, you might as well spend $30 and get a brand new one. So I ended up with a lot of them. I probably ended up with 20 of them, 30 of them. But I still paid for the rest of them. These here is what I started out with. And at one point in time, I had 400 birds that we had here. That's 200 pairs. I had maybe half that outside in my flights. So that's at least 100 bottles. And at $3 or $4 a bottle, that's 400 bucks just for the little plastic one there. That's when I discovered the Lixit stuff because somebody gave me a couple of these with this nipple. And the instructions said to use a Snapple bottle. So I got to thinking, well, if you can use a Snapple bottle for this, and I have a couple of those, why not use the Powerade and the Gatorade? Will they fit? Yes, they fit perfectly. And then I experimented with the apple juice jugs, the grape juice jugs. And one of my macaws has a big Powerade bottle because it's perfect. It's real tall, but it's not real big around. So it works perfect for his cage. And then I ain't got to worry about him throwing the bowl everywhere. Because some of my birds will do that. They'll sling the bowl across the cage. And then some of my sun conures, after they're done taking a bath in the bowl, they try to throw the bowl. So I had to use ceramic bowls. And then they still try to throw the bowls. So then it became a headache. And it started becoming a health issue for me. And worrying about them, so that's when I went to the bottles. They may work for some people, they may not. I mean, this stuff ain't for everybody. If it was easy, everybody would do it. It's not for everybody. This is just to help the people that are just trying to start out and to want to learn all the ins and outs, whether it's for their breeding pairs or just for their pets. Because I know some people are gone all day, and if the bird throws the water out, like some of the birds will, they'll throw the damn bowls. They need something they can't throw. Don't knock it till you try it was my old saying. Thank you for stopping by our Flock of Birds channel. Please check out our Flock of Birds at Facebook. Thank you and have a good day.